Hello, and welcome to Lumpia and Latkes. I'm Jay, a Filipino American.
And I'm Mitch, an American Jew. We are friends and coworkers who riff all day at work and decided to create this podcast for extended conversations on anything that intrigues us.
We won't always get it right, but we'll do what we can. Thanks for joining us. This episode, Driving Part 1, Part Uno. Driving Part Uno. That is the topic of the week. And we have a special guest joining us. First guest of the whole show. David, welcome. He is one of our coworkers. He is a joy to have. He is an absolute treasure in our company. David, hello. Welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Treasure? I don't know about a treasure, but I'm here.
No. You're a treasure. You're something.
I guess I'm old enough to be a treasure.
You're a pearl. You're a pearl that came from a
Come on,
clam,
Jay.
whatever. I don't know.
He's an asshole.
Oh, I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it. I mean, to be fair, he calls himself that, just so everybody knows. Everybody's listening. He calls himself an asshole.
That's right.
That's how I introduced myself to Mitch. I said, hey, don't get the bad idea of me. I'm an asshole. Just know that.
That's
That's
literally
right.
what you said. Okay.
That's exactly what he said. Just know that I'm an asshole.
Huh.
And by the end of the day, I said, yep, you were right, Dave. You are an asshole. And we've been talking ever since.
It's
So,
a running
Dave.
joke. I'm not really an asshole. I just play
No.
one on the radio.
That's right.
That's
So,
right.
Dave, give us a blurb about yourself before we get
Yep.
started, sir.
I am a father of 6 boys and a girl.
Yep.
I'd trade my girl for another 6 boys after the last week, but nah. Seriously, I love them all. I
Yep.
wouldn't give any of them up.
You're a hard worker. That's for damn sure.
Yep. Okay, cool. And again, appreciate anybody that wants to join us along for this ride because we're figuring it out as we go. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And again, topic of the week is driving. But Mitch, give us a little disclaimer that you were going to give us here.
Yeah, so Jay and I have been talking about this whole subject for a little while, and I just want to give out a little, disclaimer of this whole thing. We are not talking about, driving as people that are poking at other people, people that are saying that they're doing things all wrong, that you have to do it our way. This is, again, our opinion of things, but more so between myself, Jay, and David here, we've got at least 20 years of field technician driving experience. And I figured it was about 3.5 hours a day. And again, my math might be a little off, but I thought it was around the realm of like 25,000 hours that we did all together as a group, as a core. So when we talk about this kind of stuff, I think we speak loosely from a semi-professional experience, nowhere near truck driving experience, folks, none of that kind of stuff. But when we talk, I think we talk with, we've been there. Each one of us has probably been in an accident at some point in our lives, or we've gotten a ticket. So we're no angels. We are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But when we talk about this stuff, it's stuff that, we've come across, and some of us feel certain ways about the topics we're going to be discussing regarding driving, and other people are going to feel a little differently. But we wanted to do a three-way conversation. I said three-way. I can't believe I said that.
Ooh.
We're going to have a 3-person panel discussion about this driving and the driving habits and stuff like that. And some of the things that may annoy us, some of the things that we like, and some of the things that we dislike. So I'm off my soapbox. Let's get rolling.
All right, yeah, let's get rolling. So, David, you probably know why the main reason we invited you here, because this is what spurred this whole topic, is when we were talking about zipper merging, and you don't believe in it.
Zipper mergings are horrible. In Mitch's perfect world, zipper merge works. But
Damn right it does.
This is a me first world that we live in.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Everybody's got to be the first to the line.
Yep. Now, by zipper merging, guys, what we're talking about is a little scenario here. When you've got a lane that's ending and you've got to merge together into one lane, it is okay to have yourself go all the way to the merging section and merge there. And scientifically speaking, theoretically, engineer speaking wise, if you do that and everything merges right there at that merge point, if there is a steady flow of traffic and everybody's doing things correctly, you can merge more efficiently than the current merging techniques, which, a lot of people are saying, oh, if you know the lane's going to end, well, you should get over before the lane ends, thus slowing traffic down.
Right. And what typically happens, as everybody knows, when you get into these merging lanes, everybody wants to go immediately over. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get people honking at other people and getting upset.
Sometimes you got
And
people who won't let you go in,
that's
won't let you
right.
scoot in because all of a sudden they come up. They're not all the way to the merge point. They're 1,000 feet from that merge point, but you know what? They pulled up anyways, and they're trying to get over. And then other people are like, "Nope, you're not getting over. I sat in this line. I slowly crept along this line for the last mile and a half, and you're not getting in, pal."
Yeah.
Well, you know,
In
I
and of
get it.
itself, zipper merging will work again if people would let it work. People don't because people are assholes.
That's right.
Kind of like our friend David. No, I'm no.
That's right.
No, not in that way. No, people are actual assholes and they just want to be again like you were saying, me first. But zipper merging in and of itself does work. It's just that people won't let it work. But it
That's
will
right.
work if people give it, actually
If
follow the rule.
everybody is patient and they merge in as they should, it could work.
But
But
nobody's
again,
patient.
nobody's patient.
Yeah, no one's
You're
patient.
right.
I'm
You're
probably
right.
the most patient person on this call.
You
But yeah,
probably are.
Yeah, no, yeah, being our senior, yeah, you deal with a lot more crap than we do. I'm sure.
And by folk and people, when he means by senior, he's actually our pseudo boss, if you will.
Yeah,
So yeah, but at the same time, he's not my boss for long.
yeah.
Twitter.
That's the other thing. We'll have to change. We'll have to change the intro of the show after a
That's
little bit.
okay.
I
That's
mean,
all
we'll
right.
say former. That's all
That's
we'll
right.
say. That's
That's
all we
right.
gotta do. Add one word.
That's it.
Okay. All right. So
He's just going to poach you after he gets settled in over there anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna poach you too, Dave. Don't worry.
yeah.
It will all be okay. But yeah, the zipper merging thing, again, in the perfect world,
Right.
works 100%.
Right.
100% of the time, it works 60% of the time.
Right. So this is a different conversation than what I thought was going to happen because I thought for sure you would be like, no, absolutely, it doesn't work at all. Like, no,
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 he
David's.
recognizes.
Yeah,
It-
he knows that it does work.
He
In a
knows.
perfect world, in a
Yes.
perfect world,
Yeah, in a
it'll
perfect
work.
world.
But we don't
It's
have
not
a perfect world.
Yeah,
There's
no,
too many assholes out there.
But
Of
it
course.
still should apply.
doesn't work.
We
It
still
should,
should use
yeah.
it. I know that
Yeah.
there are assholes out there, but you know what? It
Yeah.
should still work. And you brought up one of my other topics as well, which is the me first mentality. I
Yeah.
swear to you, everybody out there, it seems like they all want to be first. It's like, oh, I'm behind this big white van. Oh, they're going to go slow. I have to go around them. And they zip all the way around just to get right in front of you. And then what do? Slam on the damn brakes.
Absolutely. And see,
So,
here's a perfect example where your zipper effect doesn't work. Look at the tunnels coming back and forth from the peninsula.
sure.
You spend an hour waiting in that. If the zipper effect actually worked, you could be through there in 20 minutes, not an hour.
Absolutely. Well, the tunnel traffic is a whole mystery in and of itself, if you ask me, because you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck in traffic, you're stuck in traffic, you start going through the tunnel, you're still stuck in traffic, you get through the tunnel, and everything just opens up like
Yeah, I want to know where are the other 500 cars that went through the tunnel ahead of
Right.
you? Because you
Right.
get to the end and they're gone.
They're
Yeah.
everybody's back moving again. It's like they're it's honest to God. Here's what I think it is.
I think
It
the
is
tunnel
the-
eats them.
Mm.
Hey, I got to tell you this. So when we have my granddaughter in the car with us and we go
Right.
into the tunnel,
Right.
we're like, "Hey, look, it's the tunnel here. We're going in."
Mm.
Yep.
And as you go in, you go chomp. Oh, the tunnel ate us.
Oh, okay.
And then as we come out of the tunnel, you're like, "Bleh." No, the tunnel spit us out.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Loves
Yeah,
it.
it's different than I always do the traditional thing, or used to, where you hold your breath through the tunnel and then you get
Yes.
out and you make a wish.
Yes.
Like, woo.
Yeah, I've done that before too.
Yeah.
My folks used to tell me because back in the day there used to be little ports that like people would walk on the little walkway section that they could sit in or whatever, and now they don't have them anymore. But those little ports, they were like, "Hey, did you see the shark in the window?" No. "Oh, yeah, take a look next time. Here it comes." "Oh, you didn't see the shark in that window?" "No."
Oh. Huh.
So that's what they would joke with me about all the time. But
Okay.
Can you imagine if the new tunnels that are dropping, if they were made out of plasteel?
right,
You can
Mm.
see the fish and the boats that are
right,
going over the
That'd be
top.
cool.
that'd be
That'd be real cool.
crazy. That would
Yeah.
be absolutely
That would
crazy.
make those people that are afraid to go across the HRBT even they would be scared shitless and never go. But
Yep.
you know
And
there are
then
people like that.
and just imagine how much traffic
Bingo.
jams we would have even more
Yeah.
because everybody would stop because
Yeah.
they'd be in amazement.
Right. And on the other end of that me first mentality, I like to look at the mirrors and believe that all the cars that are in the mirror are losing. So I kind of am in that space. I mean, it's that whole thing. The side mirrors. I don't know when they stopped, but they used to say, everything in the mirror is like closer than it appears or whatever.
Objects in
That
the
whatever.
mirror are closer than they appear.
Yeah. Why'd they stop that? Is there a reason?
Well,
Technology.
our vehicles don't say that, but as far as I recall, I think that the newer vehicles still say that. I don't know. I have to go check. I'd
And
have
my
to go
personal
check.
vehicle doesn't say it either.
Your personal vehicle doesn't say it, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess because they figure you should know by now. You know,
Well,
you
not
should
new
know.
drivers. New drivers don't know that. There are always
Yeah.
new drivers.
Oh,
There are
new
kids that
drivers
are
don't
always
know it.
coming up.
Yeah.
There are new kids that are always going and getting their
Right.
licenses from the DMV, and they won't know that shit.
Right. So back to my whole thing with the tunnel and why it takes so long and things slow up. I think what's happening is that nobody maintains the speed when they go up the hill inside the tunnel. And
Yep.
as a result of that, everything just slows down to a crawl.
Well, there's that, and
Because
then everyone slows down as soon as they're trying to enter the tunnel too. I'm like, why are you slowing
right.
down?
They
Just
start
keep
slowing
going.
down. Yep, I know.
I
They
think
just
it's a
keep freaking
paranoia.
going. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's those two combinations of things that just back everything up. Plus, I'm sorry, but tractor trailers, man, they go downhill really, really well. They don't go uphill so well.
Very true.
So that slows it down as well. But again, they're supposed to stay on the right hand side. Everybody's supposed to, if you're a truck or trailer, whatever it is, you got to be on the right. That's by the rules, but they don't always follow those
They
damn
don't follow
rules.
that.
So
No.
I'll tell you, it's funny because I've gone through the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel numerous times.
Mm.
And I will say that, when there's an accident and it backs up really, really bad, then yeah, it can get bad. It can get very bad. But it's only one lane,
Mm.
one way in that tunnel. And when you're driving, you've got traffic on the other side coming right at you.
Yeah.
So from that perspective of things, it's going to be a real big pain, a real big pain. So I don't have that. I don't have that. At first, it was a really bad fear for me going through that tunnel. I got so used to doing it, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Hmm.
But that way, things don't slow down as much that going through that tunnel. Things are usually pretty quick going through the tunnel. It's not as bad of a traffic as it is going through the HRBT or the M&M, if you will. But, just my 2 cents.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But also, like in that same, like just in driver courtesy in general, like one of the topics that I want to talk about is letting people in. Like you do one and you're done. You don't let
Right,
more than one go. You let one
right,
and done. Yeah, you can be courteous, but you let more than one person go in, you're just a dick. Just
right,
let one person and then you
right,
move. Unless that person that's coming in next has like dents on their vehicle, because it's the main thing that everybody knows. If
right.
you have someone that's with dents on their vehicle, they don't give a shit about theirs. They're not going to give a crap about yours either. So
Nope.
let them in. Just let them go. Otherwise, you'll be in an accident with them too. Just let them
And
go.
and I typically let one person go in. I typically do. And I'll tell you, since I've been driving with this company more, and especially with all the restrictions that this vehicle gives us, you
Right.
can't go but so fast, and they're measuring your braking, they're measuring your cornering, and all that fun crap. I've been slowing down. And when I'm slowing down, I'm just letting things kind of take place in front of, watching things unfold in front of me, and slowing down helps me see things in a little bit bigger of a picture. Now, when I'm on the interstate and all that, and somebody wants to get over, I'll let them over if they use their turn signal.
Yep. That's right. Use your turn signal. Use your turn signal. You avoid an accident. That's right.
That's right. Every
Uh,
time.
yeah. And also check your lights every time too. People don't check their lights too. People don't do that walk around their vehicle before they get in, which I mean, I'll be honest, I'll forget every now and then. But as part of our fleet policy, you're supposed to walk around your vehicle and check for any sort of little, discrepancies and stuff that might be messed up. But I forget every now and then. Sometimes you're late and you just want to go, but you should walk around your vehicle to make sure there's no shit around it. Could drive over anything, that your tires are okay, that your lights are not busted that somebody didn't fuck with your vehicle. But
Right.
people forget. It is what it
Right.
is.
Right. Dave, what do you do?
I get 3/4 of the way. I'll scan the side of the truck as I'm coming up, and then I'll walk around 3/4 away and make sure, like I said, there's nothing broken. And then when you get in, the nice thing about our vehicle are the cameras.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
can hit the camera and it'll give you a 360 all the way around the vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But there is that dependency on cameras, like you guys know. When I back up, I use the cameras, which is not great, but I use the cameras, and that's how I back up. But
Yeah, and you can't back up for shit, son.
I know, I can't do it. I can't do it.
The only time I look at my backup camera is just to see how close I am to the object behind me, whether it be another car or a wall.
Yep. My uncle taught me how to back up using mirrors back when there was only mirrors, and that was it. Not even double mirrors, just a single mirror. And I learned in a freaking 94, 93 Chevy Silverado. That's how I learned to back up in one of them big suckers. And he taught me how to do it. He even taught me how to parallel park in that big old thing with that huge daggone truck. And I can parallel park that sucker pretty well. Nowadays, with the cameras, it's making parallel parking so much easier.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Now the newer cars even park themselves.
yeah, that's
You just pull up
crazy.
next to it and hit the parallel park button,
Yep.
and it slides right in there for you.
Yep. It's crazy, man.
Yep.
It's absolutely crazy. But you
Technology
know what?
getting crazy.
It works.
Yep.
But
Damn thing
my
works.
first car, I drove a 1972 Ford Fairmont.
Hmm.
Talk about trying to parallel park a land yacht.
Yeah, buddy.
That was
a boat.
yeah, it was.
That was a boat, baby. That was a boat. My sister had something like that too. It was a 70s Chevrolet. I can't remember which Chevrolet it was. I don't think it was an Impala, but that thing was freaking huge, man. And she came home one day. I remember the story. She came home one day. She's like, everybody's flashing their headlights at their bright lights at me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it is. She's like, I think my bright lights are on, but I don't know how to turn them off. Well, back then, your bright lights, Jay, like nowadays, your bright lights are on your steering column,
Right.
like one of your little like your turn signal or whatever,
Yeah.
or your gear shift or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, her bright lights was a button underneath the brake on the floorboard.
Okay.
She had no clue. She had pushed it.
That's a weird place to put it.
Yep.
My first car, it was to the left of where you would
Yeah.
see you would have the
Little dial that you would turn. Right?
well, no, it was a foot pedal,
Oh.
but it was on the left side
Oh.
near the left wall.
Oh.
Because you got your gas, you got your clutch, you got your brake, and then a little bit farther over is your little round button on the floor of the car that you just step on to turn your headlights, your high beams on and off.
See, for the '96 Camry that I used to drive, it had the light switch. It's on a little dial that's to the left of the steering wheel, and you use that, and you can turn from
Right.
normal
Right.
to the brights.
Yep.
So I never had the one that had the pedal or whatever. That's interesting. I didn't know.
Yep.
that was
You got to
there.
go back. I think they stopped doing that. Maybe the early '80s, late '70s.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. I think so. Especially on the floorboard. Floorboard. I never drove with any vehicle on the floor with that
Yeah.
one on the floorboard
That's
ever.
interesting. That is very
So,
interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Didn't know
It
that
was a
existed.
it was a mid-70s Chevrolet. I can't remember what it was, but we called it the Green Goblin because it was this big green tank. And I mean, she hit probably 4 or 5 different things with it. Never dented it once.
And if we're talking about lights, let me just say, I
Yeah.
mean, I know I'm probably very stupid for not knowing, but I didn't know that you could turn that little center thing in the rear view to flip that down so that's for the bright lights behind you.
For the-
I had no fucking idea.
That's for nighttime. That's for
Right.
nighttime. Yep.
Yeah.
That's for nighttime. It changes the reflector
Yeah.
on it so that way it produces it will dim
I mean,
the lights.
it's
Yeah.
not something that people tell you. You know,
No,
At least I wasn't
you're right.
told that. I had
You're
to
right.
find that out.
It
I
isn't-
found that out from fucking TikTok. Like, what the hell? Jesus Christ, man! I could have used that all that time when people were fucking LEDs. God
Yep.
damn it.
Well, driving through town, you don't usually you don't have that issue.
Yeah.
It's when you get out and you're going cross country
Yeah.
and you hit, even going down to the Outer Banks and
Yeah, that's what I was
coming
saying.
back
North
from the Outer
Carolina
Banks
coming back?
in the middle
Yeah.
of the night.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Yep.
Somebody coming up with their high beams on behind you,
Yep.
it's just blinding you.
And don't turn them off at all. Just keep on
Yep.
driving. Yeah,
Yeah.
that annoys the crap out of
Let's
me. It
get let's
really
get into
does.
that, right? Let's get into
Okay.
the headlights in general with how bright they're getting these days. Like, how bright do you really need them? I know some people have vision issues, but if you need it that bright, should you really be driving? I mean, that's a bit much, man.
If you have
So
issues driving at night, no, you hang
Right.
it up. You get somebody else to drive you. Take an
Exactly.
Uber.
Take an
right,
Uber. Use
right.
public transportation. I don't know.
So I can't reference the article that I read, and I apologize for kind of paraphrasing it, but there was an article that I did read a while back regarding the headlights. And apparently the United States has such strict laws regarding the headlights that the technology cannot abide by it. And what I mean by that is over in Europe, they have different setup of headlights.
Hmm.
Some that, if they put on their turn signal or if they're turning their vehicle, the headlights kind of turn with the vehicle more or less. And that they can also focus more on certain areas of the road, or they provide different lighting on the road
Hmm.
that, while it provides better lighting for the driver, won't impede another driver coming from the opposite direction. And
Hmm.
like the sensors will pick up on like the car coming and shift the lighting if necessary so it doesn't actually blind the driver coming up in front of you, coming opposite direction of you.
That's
Huh.
coming. That's coming to the States because I just recently saw it was a story that one of the TV stations had put out
Hmm.
talking about just that. And I wish I could remember what brand it
Yeah,
was. I
yeah,
want to say
Hmm.
possibly a Chevy
yeah.
or Chrysler. That's what it was. One of the newer Chryslers has
Mhm.
got that in it.
Hmm.
Of course, it's
Okay.
got to be a luxury car because it's expensive to put into a car.
Right.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. But it's things like that that can certainly provide the ease of preventing another driver from being blinded by those headlights. And
Right.
yes, the technology is coming, but for whatever
Yep.
reason, the US is extremely slow when it comes to things of that nature. And it has to do with
Hmm.
more, from what I read
Bureaucracy.
the article, it really has to do with all the rules and regulations that are currently in place
Right.
for National Highway and Safety Patrol or something like that. So, it creates a bit of a dilemma for them to be able to bring out this kind of information, and they have to, or this kind of technology, and they have to rewrite the rules, so to say. And to get those rules rewritten, apparently it's like an act of Congress.
Hmm.
So, while the technology is there, it's the government that's kind of holding it at bay.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It is an act of Congress because it has to go. All the rules for that organization go through Congress to be enacted.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if we're
So,
talking about technology, I mean, Mitch, you have an interesting point of view on technology and where we're headed for AI and automated automation in driving.
oh
So,
yeah, I do. I,
ALS.
I, I, I am I am all for stage four autonomous vehicles, which a stage four autonomous vehicle would mean the vehicle itself is fully self-driving. There is not even a steering wheel in the car at all. And I would love to see a future where we actually could do stuff like that. I mean, because could you imagine it for somebody like ourselves when we're doing our job? I mean, we drive from A to B to C to D all day long fixing the equipment,
Hell yeah.
and we have to write that we have to work on our tickets and everything else, and we can't complete all these tickets while we're driving. Now imagine, if you will, we get everything all done and everything's fixed, and we just get into a fully autonomous vehicle. We don't have to sit in the driver's seat. I mean, we'll probably have to stay seated in some fashion, but we don't have to sit in the driver's seat. We could sit somewhere centralized inside of our vans, finish working out the call, processing out our parts, labeling, putting return labels on it, and getting everything ready. And by the time we're finished with that ticket, we're at our next site and we can start the next ticket. To me, that's just that would be fabulous. It would be wonderful. But there's other factors that have to fall in line. Okay, the
Infrastructure.
grid, the infrastructure that has to be there to support everything about that will take a very long time to do, and it will. And again, spitballing here, I was thinking, there's got to be some self-driving lanes. You have to have full self-driving lanes, because if you had self-driving cars mixed in with regular driving cars, that's going to wreak havoc on both the driverless and the driver
Right.
vehicles.
Well, I mean, so right there, let's talk about Waymo. I mean, that's exactly what's happening with Waymo vehicles now.
Yeah,
Yeah, vehicles get the vehicle is trying to expect to go turn a certain way, because
right.
that's where it wants to go per the AI, but people don't leave that space for that vehicle to get through. So then you have things where people are about to crash, and the person that's in the car can't do shit because
That's
they
right.
don't have access to the controls. Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
happening in
But
Waymo right now.
Yep.
we do have fully autonomous cars running down at the ocean front right now.
Yes, we do. But they're doing okay
They're
for
doing okay.
now.
So here's the issue with the autonomous vehicle. You can't get it out on the highway, or not really the highway, the country roads,
Hmm.
because a
Yeah,
lot of the country roads don't have the lines painted
yeah.
along the right side.
Shoot, we don't even have some of the lines painted on the city streets. Come on, man.
Yeah,
That's true as
exactly.
hell. That's true.
And that's what the autonomous vehicles use
That's
to
right.
make sure they are centered in lanes. They
Exactly
look for
right.
that white paint or yellow paint to determine where they are in the lane.
That's
Yeah,
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're not, they won't be able to rely on just those reflectors, because a lot of times when the asphalt's freshly put down, they'll just put the reflectors down and it could take a week or two before the lines are painted. Now, how they deal with that as far as that is concerned, I don't know. And I'm not the engineer that'll figure that out, but I would hope that they come up with a system to be able to assist or at least help or compensate in some fashion during a situation like that.
They already do. I mean, look at right now. You have the dotted line down the center, and
Yeah.
then you have the a similar on the outside when they just drop those reflectors down. It's
Yep.
picking up on those reflectors, and it's
Mm.
expecting one every so many feet.
Right.
The issue you have is when they don't, and so you got.
Yep.
I used to drive down this road up in Michigan. That on the side of the road, there may be a half a foot between the edge of the road and a 5 foot ditch.
Hmm.
I'm about to
And
say
if you're in that
that's elbow
autonomous
road.
vehicle and you're going down there, what's to say that autonomous vehicle doesn't drift off the side of the road because it doesn't see the white line that's not there?
And
Okay.
that's where AI would have to kick in.
Right.
That's where
They'd
AI
have to
would have to
learn.
kick in. It would have to
Hey, look,
learn.
that's dirt.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
It would have to know. And again, it would be more than just, it would be cameras, and it would be the camera and the AI system working together to create the autonomous vehicle that we need it to be.
Yeah,
And
especially in conditions like snow and shit. Like it's gonna come
yeah,
over. You're not
exactly.
gonna see it.
Exactly. You wouldn't be able to do it. And I don't know if they've ever tested it in snow or not. I'm sure they have.
I'm
And
sure they have to have
I'm
these
sure it's
vehicles out now. They
I'm
must have.
sure it's done. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
been done. I'm sure it's been tried. I'm sure they've got whatever they've got in place right now, but you know, at some point before I retire, I would love to see something like that. That's 20 years down the road. I seriously
Yeah.
doubt it's going to make it that far in 20 years, but I know in 20 years there's going to be a shift. More than likely, there'll be a shift, and there'll be more EV vehicles out there than ever before, and
Look,
less
man, I
gas
think
vehicles.
I think you'll see that change whenever they finish Laskin Road. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think I think the vehicle you're looking for, Mitch, it's going to come from one of the three main American vehicles.
You think so? Okay.
Well, think about it. Where are they headquartered out of?
Detroit.
Detroit, right? Detroit snows.
Yep.
Detroit
Yeah.
gets a lot of snow, so
That's
you
true.
know that those vehicles are going to be tested on those roads in Detroit
Good
and
point.
in the surrounding area around Detroit.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I mean, and like I said, man, if it happens, wonderful. I think it'll be great. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be totally upset about it.
If it doesn't work, it's going to be like you ever see the video of the robots? What was it, Japan or something like that,
Uh-huh.
where they were trying to deliver their packages through a snowstorm, and they're all getting stuck in the snow.
Oh, really?
No.
Jesus. No, I
No.
didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that one.
I have to look that one up and show it to you.
I did see the one where there was an AI robot in a Japanese convention or something to that effect. It's either Japanese or over in Vegas, where an AI robot went up to other AI robots and convinced
Yes.
them to
Right.
leave the conference, and they
Yep.
all left.
And
the
they all left.
conference.
They got as far as the front door, but then they couldn't get
Yep.
any further.
They couldn't get
couldn't
any
open the door.
further. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw the other one of like the robot that they made for like an art exhibit where it was scraping up its own oil to keep itself alive. That was really sad.
Yeah, that is really
Oh,
sad.
that's awful.
Yep.
All right.
That is really sad. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
Okay. Well, We're come close to the end of our time for this segment. So when we come back, it will be time for Would You Rather. We'll see you soon. Would you rather? There's a mom and pop bookstore in Williamsburg that has a fantastic selection of books in general, but the one that caught my eye is a coffee table book titled Would You Rather? The Outrageous Book of Bizarre Choices, written in 2001 by Workman Publishing. I'm going to flip through the pages and we will find out which choices we would indeed rather. All right. So, while rock climbing 500 feet up, lose one shoe or both contact lenses.
Lose one shoe or both contact lenses.
I feel like this is real cut and dry because you lose your contact lenses. I mean, I guess it depends if you're farsighted, but I
Right.
don't want the inability to not see where my next hand or foothold is. But
Sure.
if you lose one shoe, yeah, you might mess up your foot, but I mean, I don't want to take the risk of falling.
When it comes to rock climbing, though, losing a shoe is like losing an entire appendage, sir. You're going to be extreme. You're going to be struggling extremely, and there
Right.
are blind people that have gone rock climbing.
But that's if you're an expert. I mean, like we're talking about us.
True.
I wouldn't be able to do it if I had depended on
Dude,
my
if it was me, I
contact
wouldn't
lenses
be
for my
on the
life.
damn rock. Come on.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be up there to begin with. I don't even want to do the one that's I think Apex has rock climbing, right? I don't want
Yeah,
to do that
yeah.
here. So no,
No.
I'm good. But I mean, if I was up there, if I was forced to be up there, I think I'd rather lose one shoe than lose both contact lenses.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that one too, man. Because
Okay.
again, you got to be able to use it. But again, losing that one shoe is going to be extremely difficult trying to climb up a rock.
It is
I'd rather lose my contact lenses.
really
Yeah.
okay.
Why is that?
Absolutely. You gotta have the rock climbing shoes to get a good grip to jump up to the next spot.
See, that's what I said.
That's true, but like again, like you know, if you it depends on how blind you are, right? I mean, you
Right.
get your contact lenses. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess in my particular case, I'm nearsighted, right? So I guess I could do it with losing my contact lenses. But it depends on the person. If they're really blind as a bat, they shouldn't be up there in the first place. But that's just me.
Jay and I are just
we-
going to be idiots. That's all. You're going to be
We could
smart
always
one day.
try it out. I mean, there's a rock climbing place right at Town Center. We can try.
Yeah,
No,
let's
again,
go ahead and test it out. Sure.
I don't.
Come on,
I
let's
don't
go and
want to. I
test
don't
it
want
out.
to do it.
No.
No. I'm all right. I'd rather not. Okay. So I say the shoe. Mitch, what do you say? Is your final
Shoe.
answer? You say shoe.
I'm going to be the idiot with the shoe.
Okay. Well, I'm also with you. And then David says the contact lenses. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we know where we stand. Okay, that was a good starter. Let's go on with: Would you rather run across a field of 1,000 angry rattlesnakes or 3 landmines?
Wow.
I think if you run
Um,
across 3 landmines, you're dead.
I'll take my chances with the landmines because I'm not a rattlesnake fan.
Ah,
I think you can get bit by the rattlesnakes, but it's like I don't know. Maybe there's somebody got like the antidote on the other
does
side.
it say that in the bottom of the page, Jay?
No, of course not. It never.
Okay,
does.
then you can't throw that in there.
No,
You
but I
still
mean,
got to make it to the other side, though. And if you have more
That's
than one
right.
bite you're not going to make it to the other side.
So wait a minute.
This is
You
true.
said how many rattlesnakes?
1,000 or 3 landmines. But landmines. You step on one, you're dead.
No, you step on it, you're still alive. It's when you step off of it that you're dead.
That's true. That's true. How are you going to get across it? Though? You got to run across 3. 1 foot, 2 foot. Well, you got to put your arm down, and then you're just stuck in like a twister that you don't want to play.
Yeah, we'll just
shit.
hope the hell that it only blows off one appendage at a time.
Okay.
I could make it back with one leg and half an arm.
All right. Okay.
Honest to God, I'm gonna say as crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna say the rattlesnakes because
too.
landmine's gonna be absolutely insane.
Right.
No, I'm not a fan of rattlesnakes.
No. I don't think anyone is.
But I feel like rattlesnakes are more defensive than offensive from what I recall reading. So they're just gonna like protect their little space, if you will, and you might not be able to see them, but you can certainly hear them, and maybe you can avoid them.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean,
So
1,000. Yeah.
Is running through the 2 fields. And if I run through the snake field, I'm going to step on one. And it's going to be over.
Does it say
The other one,
running?
I have a
What
chance
is
of
it
making it through the
specifically
field
running?
without.
Run. Yeah.
It says running through
Run
a field.
across,
Okay.
run across a field of 1,000 angry rattlesnakes, or well, it doesn't say a field of again, just 3 landmines in
It says
general.
3 landmines. So you
Yeah,
don't know where those 3 landmines are in that field. You
That's
can
right.
run across the field and never hit it.
true.
And you got to run.
Yeah, you got to run.
Okay, I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say landmines because if I'm going to go out, I'm going out with a bang.
Yeah. Can I just jog instead? Can I pep walk? Well,
Can I trot, please,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah. Can I moonwalk
Speed
across the?
walking.
Yeah, speed
Just a,
walk. Just a little.
just a light trot across
That's right.
the
Can
field,
I can
sir.
I gallop? Can I skip? Can I do a cartwheel across these things?
I don't know. Can you skip?
I don't know. It's been a long. I mean, it's been a while since I tried. I saw this video. It's like a thing that was going viral on TikTok, where like they asked their people of certain ages, like, "Hey, do you remember how to skip or gallop?" And people just could not do it. It's just no one's done it in a long
Wow.
time. It's like you forget because like to gallop, to do that skip and that trot and stuff. It's like
Wow.
you don't use it. So it's like, oh, how do I do that again? Oh shit.
Well, I guess you got to watch Monty Python before you go out and try to gallop.
Yes, and you need to have the coconuts to bang together. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right. So, would you rather be alone, completely alone, with nobody in the vicinity for 1 year, or never be alone for even 1 minute for 1 year? Well, David, you know that you have kids. You have multiple kids in your house.
Yeah, right now I could use the solitude.
You can
Yeah,
use
that's what I'm
solitude.
like, man. I'm going with the no one in vicinity for a year because you can still interact with them online, through social media, through email, whatever you got to do, text. You're just not with anybody. I think that's much more doable than someone who's always in your face.
Wow, that's a tough one, man. I mean, because I've had somebody with me for around me
Mm.
for a long time, so it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, man, I think that full year of solitude, I would probably go nuts. So I'd have to say the latter, somebody beside me the whole time.
You would go nuts, even though you could have other avenues to talk with people and interact with them. You just
Well,
can't
it doesn't say
physically.
that. It says solitude.
Yeah, no, it
I
just
mean,
says that there's no one in your vicinity. It doesn't say
mm,
solitude. No one's in your vicinity.
I mean,
Be
I
completely
could do a
alone with
year.
nobody in the vicinity for 1 year. I think anybody could do that.
Yeah,
Just sitting in, yeah, because you can still. I think this book was written in a time where technology wasn't as widespread. I mean, it was 2000
true,
still.
true.
I mean, I think anybody could do it easily with the amount of technological devices we have these days, with FaceTime and Zoom and all this different shit. You
Right,
you would be all right.
right.
Yeah. It's just like that clapper question. It's like, oh, well, you can have the clapper, you can have. No, the clapper doesn't work in this day and age because of how all the electronic crap we have in our rooms and our houses just wouldn't work.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's true.
okay. All right, so I guess we're all in agreement. We would all do the. Right.
Yeah, I'd probably do the solitude. That makes most
Right.
sense.
Okay, fair enough.
Could it be the Fortress of Solitude, though?
Sure. Yeah, with the Justice League.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I want.
sure. Who would
Okay.
you? Well, I mean, that's still. No, it doesn't work because that's still with people. You can't do that. You can't do
You
that.
suck.
Well, do you
You
count
suck.
them as people? Because they're not technically people. They're like like Superman is an alien.
Yeah, I think we're getting going. Now, I think we're
I
now
don't know.
talking about semantics at this
I
point.
know. I know. Semantics. Hey, I don't use semantics. I use Komodo antivirus. I don't know. All right. Anyway, would you rather, in a crowded movie theater, sit behind three very tall people, or in front of a group of loud giggling people?
Loud giggling people. I would sit in front of the giggling people.
Yeah,
It would piss me off, but at least I could still see the movie.
yeah. Because I don't have to stand up to see the movie. I'm like,
Right.
They're
Right.
both aggravating.
yeah, they're
It's both
both awful.
aggravating.
Yeah.
But see, I've also been one of those people that talks through the movies.
Of
Like
course you are.
if I'm with one of my friends and I call
Yeah.
bullshit on something, I'm like, hey, that's bullshit, or no, no, this is
Hmm.
what's going to happen. Watch, this guy here is, secretly going to turn on the rest of these people here. He's the bad guy. He's the real bad guy, and that kind of stuff. And we'll chit chat back and forth. We do it.
Remind me not to go to a movie with him.
The loud giggling people, like I hate when people like talk at any event that you're trying to like focus on something. Like I went to see that musical Mean Girls right at the in
Right.
Norfolk, and these people were talking Like I could see them talking. I could hear them. It's like I'm trying to listen to the dialogue. I'm already got the cheap seats where I can't hear anything properly anyway. Now you're talking and making it worse. Like, bro, just shut the fuck up. That's all. I just want to hear what I'm listening to. I paid for my experience. I'm not paying to listen to you talk. So yeah,
I
no, I'm
agree
with
with that.
yeah, yeah.
That's got to be the most aggravating thing is to sit in a theater and not be able to hear the movie as it's playing because
Hmm.
the people in front of you are too loud.
Yeah,
The
absolutely
whole
awful.
I went to see when I was a kid, Don't Be a Menace to South Central while
Mm.
drinking your juice in a hood.
Mhm.
I went and saw that in the movie theaters with a huge rowdy ass crowd, and me and several other guys went and saw it because we just wanted to see it. And man, that whole theater was rowdy. But I'll tell you what, damn good movie. Didn't care, didn't bother me.
Don't be a menace to South Central. Who's in that?
While drinking your juice in a hood. Yep, it was a parody of the song of the movie Don't Be a Menace.
Dennis the Menace. Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
no,
okay.
not Dennis the Menace. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Mr. Wilson. Yeah. All right, sure. Okay. Wait, did I answer that one? Yeah, because I hate the fact that people, when people
Yeah,
talk in general.
I'll only see the movie and
Yeah.
listen to these people BSing or whatever. It's
Nah, I'm
not
gonna.
gonna totally bother me, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit behind these people that I can't see the movie yet because
No, I'm gonna sit
I
behind the tall people, but I'm just gonna stand up. Like whatever.
Yeah.
jerk.
Yeah. I'm like,
Now
what?
you're a jerk.
Well, like, look, I'll just say, like, look, what do you want me to do? Not watch the movie? It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
but then they'll tell me
Go,
just move
hey,
to another
these are the
seat.
seats you paid for, pal. This is
Yeah.
what you get.
Yeah. I'll sit in those people's lap. Like whatever, man. I can't see.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
see.
sure they would love a big old J in their laps. Uh-huh.
That's right. That's what you
So you
get.
pick the seats in the very back. That way, if you got to stand up, you're not blocking somebody else.
That's true. That's
That's
a good point.
fair,
That's
but
a good point. But then again,
nowadays most theaters though are usually accommodating for viewpoints of seats.
yeah,
Viewpoints versus the seating
yeah.
arrangement. Most theaters are. There
Like they're
are some
starting to go
theaters.
towards stadium seating instead of like the old
Right,
school. Yeah.
right. Nowadays nowadays it is set up like that. Whereas old school wise, man,
Hmm.
yeah, you could have this blockage like that. So again, it's an older book.
Yeah, it is an older book.
Yeah, it's okay. If I'm sitting behind someone tall,
Hmm.
if I got a recliner, I'm just going to recline and listen to the movie and close my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
that's fair.
Sure. Yeah, just look up the Wikipedia for it and just find out what you missed. Yeah, you're bad. Okay. Would you rather find out that while drunk the night before you flashed the elderly woman who lives next door, or that you pounded the hell out of your own car with a hammer?
Oof. I would say flash the to the woman next door.
Yeah, she's not gonna remember. So I think.
Yeah, she
Right.
might not. She's old. I might have gave her a heart attack and she
Honestly.
died. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean that's not nice. But yeah, sure.
Well, either way, it's not nice.
Yeah. What do you say, Dave?
I'd say flash.
Yeah.
It's easier to get over the flash than all the dents in your car.
That's right.
Oh man, maybe she'll be into it, and then she'll take out her teeth and say, "Hey, I can do something else for you." Like, oh no.
Or you could get arrested, or she could turn around and arrest you for disorderly conduct, and then it won't be as cheap.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
it's he said, she said at that point.
That's right.
because
That's true.
There's no video.
Yeah, there's no video.
Yeah.
Unless she has
Yeah.
a ring camera, then everything's there. I don't know.
Well,
Well, I do
depends
have
on
ring
how old
cameras
she
these
is.
days.
She might not have a ring camera because she doesn't know how to use it.
Maybe her
Yep.
kids installed it for her. I mean, I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, no, I take the chance with the elder woman better than.
Yep.
I don't want
I agree.
I don't want. I pay for that car. I'm not trying to fuck up my car.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm
I'm
good.
not gonna mess up my car.
Yep. All right. Oh man. Would you rather have a sleepwalking problem that causes you to wander the streets at night, or causes you to get up at night and pee all over your furniture?
I don't want to pee on my furniture.
I would rather walk.
Yeah, I'd
You
rather
walk the
sleepwalk
streets?
through the streets.
Walk
I mean,
through the streets.
it's gonna be terrible. Something bad is going to happen, but
Yeah.
at least I don't have to wash my clothes every day.
I think because of where we, because of the areas we live in, it's less dangerous, and also the fact that we're men. If this is a woman answering this question, she'd probably take the pee on the furniture thing because it's, for the women, you got to realize there's a double standard here. Men can do a lot of shit that women can't just because we're men. Straight
That's
up.
not true.
No, it's true. Women
I
have to
don't think
walk
so.
around with like pepper spray and shit. Like, women get their men Is that whole conversation of women choosing the bear and shit?
And there are guys, and Jay, but there's also guys out here walking that are strapped. I mean, that are the open carry.
Oh, very true, very true. But you know, psychologically, it's just a fact of life. Men have it easier than women in
I don't
different
know about
ways.
that.
In different ways, we have it easier than women.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know, but definitely the sleepwalking problem that causes you to wander streets at night. Because
Yeah, absolutely. I
I
would definitely
don't
do the street walk.
I don't want to
Yep.
have to clean my furniture every night to
Absolutely
drag
not,
me.
dude. I would not. It's no. It reminds me of like freaking Euro trip, man. Why are you wearing my robe? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Somebody pissed all over mine.
oh, Euro trip. Rest in peace, Michelle Trachtenberg.
That's right.
Man, every time we mention somebody that's dead in one of these things, I don't know why. We just do. Oh,
Sorry.
so sad. Way
Yeah.
to be. That's great. All right. Anyway,
What?
I don't know. And now it's time for this you call news. And here with our special report is Mitch of Lumpian Lotkeys. Mitch?
Thank you, Jay. All right, this report comes Wednesday, May 14th of this year from AP. More than 2,000 Starbucks baristas go on strike to protest new dress code. A strike by Starbucks baristas protesting the company's new dress code grew on Thursday, where more than 2,000 Starbucks baristas at over 120 stores have gone on strike since Sunday to protest the new dress code, according to Starbucks Workers United, a union representing the coffee giants U.S. workers. Starbucks put new limits starting Monday on what baristas can wear under their green aprons. The dress code requires employees at company operated and licensed stores in the US and Canada to wear a solid black shirt with a khaki blue or black denim bottoms. Under the previous code, baristas could wear even a broader range of dark colors and patterned shirts. Starbucks says the new rules will make its green aprons stand out and create a sense of familiarity for customers as it tries to establish a warmer, more welcoming feeling in its stores. But Starbucks Workers United, the union that represents workers at 570 of Starbucks' 10,000 company owned U.S. stores, said the dress code should be subjected to collective bargaining. Starbucks has lost its way. Instead of listening to baristas who make the Starbucks experience what it is, they are focused on all the wrong things, like implementing a restrictive new dress code, says Paige Summers, a Starbucks shift supervisor from Hanover, Maryland. Customers don't care what color our clothes are when they're waiting 30 minutes for a latte. I'm not waiting 30 minutes for a latte, lady. Summers also criticized the company for selling styles of Starbucks branded clothing that employees are no longer allowed to wear to work on an internal website. Starbucks said it would give 2 free black shirts to each employee when it announced the new dress code. On Wednesday, the workers' union said a total of 1,000 workers had staged a walkout at 75 stores. Starbucks said at the time that the strike was having a limited impact on its 10,000 company operated U.S. stores. In some cases, the strike closed stores for less than an hour, the company said. It would be more productive if the union would put the same effort into coming back to the table that they're putting into protesting wearing black shirts to work, Starbucks said in a statement. More than 99% of our stores are open today, serving customers, and have been all week. AP readers who share their opinions have mixed views on the dress code. Some said they don't think Starbucks baristas had much to complain about, noting that many retailers require their workers to dress a certain way. Others say they thought Starbucks should focus on improving the quality and price of its beverages and keeping workers happy instead of worrying about what its employees wear. You know what? I find this absolutely funny. I really do.
This really
This is,
screams a lot of same stuff that happened for Walmart when they changed over from you can wear whatever to now you have to wear certain colors and stuff. It's the same stuff. I've heard this conversation.
yeah,
Yeah, and it didn't go well because people thought the same things. I mean, like it's like we were talking about for us versus the rival company that used to be with us. Well, not rival, but the company that used to be with us, and that company they give their employees shirts. They got actual like shirts that they can give them. Whereas we have to buy our own shirts. We don't get a shirt budget. It's all that
Yeah,
same kind of stuff.
these guys get two new shirts. What are they complaining about?
But it's only two new shirts. That's all they get is two new shirts. That's it.
Hey, I'm sure they could be encouraged to buy more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure at some point they'll change it to where it's not just a black shirt. Now it's going to be, oh, you have to have one with the logo and you have to get it officially from us. It's going to be about, like for us, 50 bucks on the official company website. I'm like, fuck that.
Now
Like,
I know David. I know David
When
is
I
all.
started, when I started, they gave us 5 shirts,
right.
and they told us, "Oh, this is going to be an annual thing. You get 5 shirts every
Right.
year." I got them the first 2 years, and then yeah, we had issues, and corporate security said that it's a security risk for us to wear those shirts while working on equipment. What they didn't tell you is the full story. It was in one specific city where we had a large facility and did our training in that area. And when we pulled out of there, the community got mad at us about it because they lost so many jobs and so
Yep.
forth. And they were mad at our company. And there were talks of putting hits out on our workers that were working in that area. And then they stopped wearing named shirts because of that.
Right. Yeah. One area.
Locally, we don't have that issue.
Right.
Matter of fact, I still have my original shirts that I occasionally wear,
Mhm.
and our customers would rather us walk into their business and have a logo on our shirt that says why we are there.
That's right.
Yep.
Everybody does. Everybody wants to have
Yeah.
that kind of a shirt, Dave. I mean, not everybody, but the majority of places they would.
Yeah, I just wish our
'cause-
company would see that.
You know what? The company doesn't necessarily see it that way. Maybe they see it as, a way of saving cost. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they see it as we're trying to protect you kind of thing. You
Right.
guys are out there in the field, and if somebody sees that logo, oh well. But you know what? Everybody, so far, people ask me, what do I do? And I tell them who I work for. I'm like, oh, okay. So what do you do?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that was the
The
whole
thing
problem
with
with
this
the.
story-
Yeah.
The thing with this story that's funny
Yeah.
is you start talking about the baristas union,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
but it only affected what they say 75 stores out of 10,000.
Yep. Total of 1,000 workers had staged walkouts at 75 stores out of the 10,000.
Right.
That is less than 1% of all of the stores the company has.
I think striking is stupid. Just to go back to that, you're gonna have to wear different shirts. Like again, like
If you're going to strike, the uniform is not what you strike over. You
right,
strike over labor costs.
you
Yep.
strike over
Wages.
actual like bad work conditions, not
Right.
you're
Poor work
forced to wear a
conditions,
shirt.
wages, insurance,
Yeah.
hike insurance, things along
Like
those
if
lines.
you're striking over shirts, then I don't know. Your union has had the wrong
Your union's
priorities.
really got the wrong direction.
Yep,
I agree.
absolutely.
But you know what? Look, I've never worked for a union. I've never been
I've
a
never
part of
either.
a union.
No.
I can't say that unions are bad. I can only say what I have seen, and from what I have seen, it doesn't seem like there's many positives to being in a union. I mean, all I know is my nephew joined a workers' union for like crane operators or something like that. For like ditch diggers and I don't know what it was, but I mean, big machines, big machinery work. And all I know is he had work for about 3 months, and then he was out of work for 2 months. And during those 2 months, he was not allowed to take another job at all. Not even going to work for McDonald's. They wouldn't accept that. And I'm like, wait a minute. So what are you supposed to do for 2 months? He said, sit on my ass and wait for them to call me so I go back and work again.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to go work. I'm like, but you're breaking your union agreement. He said, I have no money. I don't care what they say. And so he went on about it and did his own thing. And now, shoot, man's making 90,000 a year, moving bulldozers and all sorts of stuff, figuring out how to make water grades and water ditches and water runoff sections. I mean, he's really good at it. He is really good at it. So, kudos for him for doing all that.
I'm about to say, Dave, you have a actual like relation with us because you were in the Teamsters and all that stuff. So
I was with the Teamsters back in the early, around 2008,
Hmm.
2009,
Hmm.
and you know, I worked for Coke, and we were under contract, and our contract was up for negotiation.
Right.
We had 25 items, including pay raises, better insurance, better work environment, trying to get them to give us company vehicles. And they came back with a vote and said, hey, we need you to vote on this. If you vote no on this, you're going to be out of work for an indefinite amount of time. And we
See,
had a lot of young guys at the time, and they were scared that they weren't going to have the money coming in. So
that's
they all voted
ridiculous.
yes. And we got 0 out of 25 items agreed in that contract. We got ripped apart in the negotiations.
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So in
awful.
your mind, you were part of a union, and guess what? It didn't work out for you so well, did it?
And if I had the choice between voting yes on that contract and voting yes or no on dissolving the union, I
Hmm.
would have voted yes on dissolving the union.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Probably would have been better off.
We would have got, well, that's the thing with our company. We have an area in the country that is currently voting whether or not to dissolve their union.
Right.
And by dissolving their union, they're looking at getting a $4 to $5 an hour pay raise
Wow.
because HR has already reevaluated their pay rate in that area. And those
Wow.
guys that work outside of the union area are getting on average $4 to $5 an hour more than the guys in the union.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, let's get into
Absolutely
it then.
crazy.
So, do unions work? Do you think unions work in and of themselves?
I
To a
think
degree, yes.
I think they had their place. And I think a lot of what the union used to stand for, they don't stand for it anymore. They
Mm.
are there to take money out of your paycheck and put it
Yeah,
in their pocket
yeah, the
and
fees.
not really stand for you.
See, I don't know, like the Steelworkers Union or the Auto Workers Union, I still think that those unions still work, and they're not just to put a paycheck, put money in their own pockets, but provide a service to its employees and to provide protection. I believe that there's some police forces have a union as well. Again, I don't know if those work or not, man. I really don't. In David's case, clearly it did not work. In the case of our current company, yeah, it doesn't sound like that area. It's working very well for those in the union. I mean, because they're not even making a competitive pay. So in those two cases, I can see where it's not working. I don't know closely enough about the other areas and the other people and the other places, and I don't know of anybody that currently is in the union. But I knew back in the day, yeah, if you worked in a union, you're good. Everything was okay. You know, there was nothing to worry about. Things were as long as everything the wheels were greased, everything was fine. But nowadays, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I like to think that they work, but I don't know. So, anyway, so that's it for this article. Jay, what do you have for our next article?
Thank you very much, Mitch. Well, our next article is Pokemon shaped Cheeto sells for $88,000 at auction. This was from about 2 months ago. So, a 3-inch flaming hot Cheeto shaped like Charizard sold for $87,840 at auction on Sunday. There were a total.
Wow.
Yes, sir. There were a total of 60 bids. The winning one was $72,000, up to $87,840 with the auction house's buyer's premium. That's a lot of dollars per inch. The, the Pokemon shaped Cheeto went up for auction on February 10th for $250 after being discovered by a Georgia based collectibles store, First and Gold Collectibles, sometime between 2018 and 2022. A Golden representative told Polygon the Cheeto was not modified to look like Charizard. It was found to be naturally occurring. It was revived and went viral on social media in 2024 after the store's workers were digging through a safe. Then the company started to upgrade its enclosure to preserve the Flaming Hot Cheeto and add a custom Pokemon card inspired nameplate. Eventually, it made its way back to the Golden auction block, and now it's got a new home where it will live in infamy and hopefully not rot. Unfortunately for the Pokemon-shaped Cheeto itself, it's not the top-selling Cheeto to exist. A flaming hot Cheeto in the shape of late Gorilla Harambe sold in 2017 for $99,900. The flaming hot,
What?
yes sir, the flaming hot Harambe Cheeto was about 1.5 inches long per USA Today, meaning the price per inch beats out Charizard as well. However, it's unclear if anyone actually bought the Harambe Cheeto. In 2017, the seller said the winning bidder ended up backing out of the deal. Though there may not be many Cheeto connoisseurs out there, but there's obviously some. Frito-Lay itself used to run a Cheetos museum for uniquely shaped snacks, but seems to have abandoned the idea. It apparently gave out $150 in prize money to the people who submitted the top 10 best Cheeto shapes. Now the Cheeto inspectors among us must take to eBay or the auction house for our flamin' hot payday. So there's an image of this, and you can
Yeah,
see
I
that
see it.
it's Cheetozard.
Yeah, it looks like Charizard
Yeah,
in every
100,
step of the way,
120 HP.
and it sold for 72,000.
72,000, but then with the fees, $187,840. That's who?
That's a lot of
Why?
fees. That's
Why
a
do
lot of
people do
fees.
that?
That is
Why?
if I had that kind of money, I think I'd buy something else.
Yeah.
I,
Why? Who has that much money? They're like, okay, I put that. Why? I don't understand.
oh, probably some wealthy
Yeah.
oil prince.
Yeah. I mean, we know that the Pokemon is a huge thing. It has been, it will be, it's going to be. But you're really going to put this Cheeto at $88,000 value? I don't. Why?
He probably bought it and then ate it.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's between 2018 and 2022. I'm assuming it's still safe to eat. Probably. I don't
I,
know.
I would assume. I mean, it looks like it's been sealed up,
It
so
does look like that.
it's been preserved. So
It was probably someone like Johnny Depp that bought it.
Yeah. Hey, it
I
could
can
be
see
Nick.
him doing
Could be
Nicolas
Nick
Cage.
Cage.
Nicolas
Yeah,
Cage.
Nicolas
Yep.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage,
He
yeah.
bought a dinosaur fossil before. Yeah, right.
Yep, exactly. I'm gonna put it next to my fossil.
Yeah. It's the stupidest fucking thing. I don't know. I know a lot of people who are really into this whole Pokemon thing. Like, I used to be before Ash Ketchum's voice changed.
Right.
But this, I don't know, $88,000 for a Cheeto.
This is the height of stupidity in my
This is the
mind.
height of stupidity. This deserves to be on this you call news. This is stupid.
Well, let's say
I mean,
right
come on.
underneath that.
Says made in China.
In China.
Made in China. Yeah.
No,
Stupid
no,
fucking thing.
that's
Stupid.
ridiculous.
And then the other part with the flaming hot Harambe, which is actually
Yes.
99,900.
99,000.
But then the winner backed out of the deal. But still, what?
Why?
I mean, the Harambe thing was a huge thing. Everybody remembers.
Yeah,
Harambe's
absolutely.
the gorilla that got shot because there was the little boy that went to the enclosure. They had to
Mhm.
shoot the gorilla because
Yeah.
it's a gorilla.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
wild animal. But
It's
at
a
the same
wild
time,
animal.
it's like what.
His
The
mom
Earth-
told him he couldn't spend that much money on the Cheeto.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I don't have enough allowance.
He tried to run his American Express, and it just said, "Nah, it's too much. I can't quite do that." What a stupid fucking thing!
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay, hey man.
Somebody decided that this was okay. I don't know.
I hope whoever bought it said it tasted good.
Yeah, I hope they opened it right there and ate it.
That's right.
That
That's
seems like
right.
something like Banksy would do. I don't know.
Yes.
It
Yes.
seems like a Banksy move.
Right.
All right. But that's all we got on that one because I think we're running out of stuff to say about it because it's just so fucking stupid. Anyway, all right. So that'll do it for this show. As always, well, first, David, thank you for joining us for episode
Dave.
1 and 2 of driving and all the other shit that we've talked about. Much
That's
appreciated.
right.
It was fun.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, a nice way to put it.
Yeah, that's a nice way
Not
to
an
put it.
asshole way to put it.
That's right.
That's
Hey, you're not living up to your character. Hey, how
That's
dare
right.
you.
You got to live.
All right.
You got to live down to your asshole.
Live down
not
to your
up to your up.
assholeness. Yeah, that's why I said he's a treasure. Anyway,
That's right.
Anyway, as always, my name is Che,
And I'm Mitch.
and we'll catch y'all again on the next episode of Lumpia and Lockies.
Bye.
If you should or would like to contact us, please find us at our Facebook page, Lumpia and Lockies. We will be glad to hear from you.